So now let's get into the world a bit. I think we can start even with NFTs if you want to. That's the low hanging
Yeah,
fruit, right?
let's start with the NFTs. You were the first person that told me about NFTs.
Uh-huh.
Been a strong proponent of NFTs, but we posted last week, 2 weeks ago, that like 95% of NFTs are now worthless, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now people are saying, well, was this whole NFT thing a scam, right? Was NFTs just something to just get people's money? Like, was it ever even built on anything? People are nervous, people are scared, people are just a little like, kind of like what happened with this whole NFT thing? Nobody's talking about NFTs anymore. So what's the current state of NFTs?
So when I think about NFTs, I think about the technology. I think most people think about the market. And I always said that that was going to be the issue, is because people look at it as a market, a money making market, right? These things that you sell versus things that you use, right? So that most people still can't tell you what an NFT is. First of all, we got to start there. The education is still low. People went through that whole thing and still don't know what the hell it is, and don't know how to tell you how to use it. I was just having a conversation with somebody. We was talking about Beyonce and Taylor Swift, because I seen, Taylor Swift did 4 billion, and she dropped that movie. She cut out the middleman, went direct to consumer, right? And we were just talking about how, when you do concerts, you got Live Nation, you got to get them a cut from tickets. It's different negotiation powers when all of these things come into play. And one of the use cases we talked about was NFTs for tickets. And the question was, okay, if Beyonce, and this can be anybody, if she wanted to do the Taylor Swift thing and she wanted to cut out the middleman, where Taylor Swift cut out the studios, right? And for touring, it'd be like Live Nation or something like that, right? Not saying she wants to or she should or whatever, but just as an opportunity. And she said, I want to sell NFTs as tickets to my concert. Do you think that would have stopped people from buying those tickets? No. Everybody that wanted to go would have bought that. The only difference is she would have made money on secondary sales, right? So the ones that go out on gate and they flood the internet and everybody start buying them, then the secondary, right? She would have made money each time from royalties. That would have been the only difference. And they would have been verifiable. They could have scanned them at the door. So the opportunity of NFTs is always the same. It's how can you create, it's a disruptive technology that changes systems. It democratizes, the way things are done, particularly when it comes to access and having secure transactions that can be verified. It was a unique way to utilize the blockchain. Now, if you go look at the top companies, ask yourself, what are they doing with them? They're still building infrastructure with NFTs, specifically like luxury companies, right? You go to maybe Prada, you go look at their certificate card, you're going to look on the back and they're going to talk about the NFT that basically is connected to this, because this bag is connected to the blockchain. So therefore, they can make sure there's not counterfeit being done, and there's a way to verify your bag. So if that bag has second market value, all they would have to do is look at the NFT to make sure it's not a counterfeit and it's real, because they have a huge issue with things like that. So then we go look at the projects that were of the 5% that did become successful. They became, 8-figure and 9-figure brands, right? So you got to look at, I think we look at probably the wrong thing, because I got a video, I was just looking back on YouTube, and I looked at it. It was January 1st, 2000, it was either 2022, I believe. And it was the January 1st of the year. And I laced out what my prediction was for NFTs. I ain't even dropped the clip yet. I'll be waiting for people to talk more shit so I can drop more clips, right? But I said that 90% of them will fail, and then I broke down why, right? And when we understand anything, we look at things in like a silo, but NFTs went through the same thing everything in the world went through, right? In the video, I talked about the bubble of everything, the housing, the stocks, the everything went through a cycle. But NFTs being a newer player in the market went through what all new players in the market go through, a boom and bust cycle, right? The question I always have for people is, do you want it to fail? Because when it's a disruptive technology that will benefit the people more, right? You don't want these things to fail, and you definitely never want to follow the media suggestion and the education that they give you, because that could be payola that they're getting from companies that don't want to see right? The market moved too fast to where they can't innovate with it, and then they can't create a system where they can continue to take advantage of people. So, or whether they're taking advantage or not, it's just the way things are, but it's not the way things have to be. So blockchain, NFTs, and SBTs, which are soul bound tokens, they are being used to this day. Donald Trump did really well with them, and he using that money to run for president. So the question is not about what the goddamn market did; it's about what you want to do with it. And that's always been the thing. Earn Your Leisure could have used NFTs as tickets for InvestFest if they wanted to, because people wanted to come. They didn't have to say NFTs; they could have just said virtual tickets, right? What digital memorabilia. People would have bought them. So why do we forget the creative agency and utility of things, and we start worrying about what the news say about the projects that failed when they were supposed to fail because 80% of businesses fail? How many stocks are on the market that you wouldn't touch because they're not worth shit to you? How many penny stocks that we advise people don't fuck with? So in every market, I look at things from a very common sense, rational standpoint, right? And other people get caught up in the what the news is saying and these statistics as if they're a shocker when they exactly what I said on the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? And it's the reason why when I go on the biggest platform that I had been on at that time, as far as, you know, something outside of what we doing, because you know high level conversation, you know what I'm saying? But at that time, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, 80% of them are scams or going to fail. I didn't try to sell people a dream because what we were trying to prepare you for the reality so that you can see the technology for what it is. Don't get caught in the name, the buzz, who built what around it. The all question was always, what are you gonna build with it? Not what are you gonna buy from the market. So me, I'm still bullish on NFTs.
All right, all right. So you're still bullish on NFTs? Okay.
Not as
So
an investment, as a utility.